nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Hey everyone, Monday here at Two Gun Pixie means it's time for another Midday Monologue. And now this is another one of our subcategories for this particular series, and this is dedicated to helping you figure out how to start, or advance if you've started already, your board game collection. If you know me, then you know that I like to categorize my board games by genre or theme. And that's why I've been doing this series. So now, if you're a fan of superheroes, I have some ideas for you in case you wanted to start a superhero board game collection. I'll see you down the table. So, you're a fan of the Old West. You enjoy tales of the wild western days. You like board games. You're looking to start a board game collection, or maybe just add Wild West games to your board game collection. Well, I got some Old West tale games that I think you want to hear about. Now, first of all, usually I start this off with solo play games. Games that are specifically made just for one player. Not games that can be played by one player, but are specifically made for the solo experience. There's nothing in my collection, there's nothing I ever remember playing that fit that category. So therefore, I have nothing from personal experience to talk about on that. If you know of a Western setting board game, card game, dice game, that is specifically made for one player, please put it in the comments section, because I'm going to want to check that out. Now, for specifically two players, there is something I know about. So if you're looking for a head-to-head Western game, then I think you're definitely going to want to check out Revolver. This is by Stronghold Games. Is good for ages 12 and up, and should take, appropriately enough, 45 minutes. And this game is a sort of bounty game where you are tracking down and trying to get to the head of a cowboy gang. And it's your quest to get him, while the other player's quest is to not be gotten and to kill the sheriff. The tactical thinking back and forth, as well as having to deal with the minor cowboy villains, makes this a deeper game than I thought when I first went into it. And I think it is a damn good two-player only head-to-head cowboy game. Revolver. Now for competitive games, let me tell you, there was a lot to choose from. And this is what I pared it down for, as far as you're starting off your Western board game collection. Western Legends by Colossal Games. This is good for 2 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, and should take you about 60 to 90 minutes. This game literally is Western Legends. You are getting the chance to play a life story out of a famous, well-known American West figure, such as Wyatt Earp, or Doc Holliday, or Johnny Ringo. Now, there are some goals that match their lifestyle a little bit, but generally it's a sandbox game, and you can do anything you want to accumulate those points you need to end the game. If you decide that Johnny Ringo is instead going to end up being a gold miner and a cattle rancher, you can make money doing that. If Doc Holliday wants to continue down a darker path and become a bank robber, no problem. You can take these characters in any direction you want. And with the minor expansions and the large expansion that are out, there are a ton of realistic characters, from Native Americans to Mexicans, men, women, that you get to choose from that were all literally a part of the American West. This is a game you are going to need on your shelf if you are starting an Old West collection. High Noon Saloon. This game by Slugfest Games is good for 2 to 6 players ages 10 and up and should take you about 45 minutes. This game zeroes in on one aspect of the old Wild West, and that's the saloon fight, fist fight, and shootout. And this game delivers that beautifully. If you're looking for that to be captured in a game where you and another player get to fight it out on a board where you are maneuvering around from upstairs to downstairs, behind the bar, by the piano player, in the back room, wherever you can get for cover or to find bullets, it's a place to go. This game does. It absolutely captures that feel wonderfully. Great Western Trail is another sort of niche game. This is if you want to feel and capture that feeling of the trail, taking the cattle and all the dangers that come with it. And this game is going to speak to your heart if you are a real fan of the Old West, because it does depart from the normally expected gunfights and cowboys versus Indians. No, this is a really fun and difficult aspect of the life in the Old West that doesn't get understood enough. This is a game for your starting shelf of the Wild West, Great Western Trail. Now, one other fantastic shootout game that I really want to bring up is, obviously, if you're a fan of gaming, you probably know what I'm going to say right here, and that's Bang! The dice game. There's a card game version also if you prefer cards. I prefer the dice game myself. And this game, one player is the sheriff. Everyone knows who he is. Nobody knows who anyone else is or who they portray themselves as. Doesn't matter because everyone lies at the table. But there are going to be some player or players that are deputies trying to help and save the sheriff, while others are outlaws and renegades. They want to kill the sheriff or they want to kill everybody. Nobody knows who is who, and you have to figure this out by deduction. Who is doing what to whom more often? What is believable that they are doing that because it's real, or they're doing it as a show? Yeah, this game always makes me think. I love playing this game, and I think if you're looking for a shootout aspect that ties in secret role, hidden identity, you're not going to get anything better on your cowboy shelf than Bang! The dice game. Cooperative game. Cooperative game I oddly don't have much of. Don't know much of. But I do know one cooperative game that has blown me away to the point where I don't feel like I need any other cooperative game right now set in the Old West. And that game is Shadows of Brimstone. This is by Flying Frog Production. It's good for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, and should take about 120 minutes. Now that's per an adventure. There are multiple adventures you can go on. This is an RPG style game. Some aspects of tabletop RPG, some aspects that you might find in a video RPG game. You get to choose different character types, and you create a character based on that, just like a role-playing game. Anywhere from a gunman, to a native, to a piano player, or a saloon girl. This game touches on all of the well-known, popular Old West tropes, but it layers that with a mythos, with a Cthulhian feel, where these other dimensional demonic monsters have broken into this world because we have discovered some mystical dark rock. And it's highly explosive, and it blew up, and it caused a dimensional rift, and you know the story, it happens all the time. But this happens in the Old West. So you're a priest and nun, you're a rancher, you're a federal agent, you're a sheriff, you're a piano player, you're going to go into these mines, and the tile board is beautiful. And you're going to fight monstrosities, you're going to go on adventures, you maybe get mutated. Sure, you might get mutated, and these characters will continue from game to game. There's continuity between this. And between adventures, you are going to go to town. I mean, literally, you are going to go to town. Probably being chased by monsters along the way. And then you're going to have possible encounters at towns. And if you want to, there's even an entire frontier town expansion to make the towns an entire scenario on their own. That makes it feel even more like a sandbox open world RPG game. That's the only one I know of. And I think it is really worthy, and I don't need to know any others right now. Shadows of Brimstone. Now, as far as one versus all games go, I don't know of any one versus all games that are set in the Old West. If you do, please put it in the comments and let me know, so possibly I'll get a chance to experience that. But there you go. If you're looking to start a Wild West, Old West, cowboy-themed gaming shelf, those are some games you're going to want to look into. They're going to want to find a place on your shelf because you're going to love having them. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And my friends, I am out of here, partner.